Hey, what's going on, man?
What's happening?
Shit. I'm happy, man. I'm happy to be recording again.
Back on the mic.
Branded podcast. It's been a while.
It has.
Been quite some time. What you been up to, man?
Designing, man. I've been doing a lot of that. Been doing some co-branding experiences with Pencil, and I guess the last time we talked, I did the New Balance thing, so that was the top of last year.
Okay.
Might be doing something else soon, so I might be out in Portland for about a month. Coming up soon, so definitely got to put some work in before we leave.
Cool.
Trying to figure out what else I've been doing. I was gonna say I think that's the major thing, and then we recorded that little catch-up episode before we did this, so I talked about a lot of that there. So if you guys listen back to that, you'll get some information, and just follow me on social media. You'll see a lot of me posting things up on there.
Cool.
Cotton Smooth, COTTEONSMOOTH. I'll just post what I'm working on up there.
Cool.
If I'm just throwing out ideas or just random concepts, I'll put it there for people to see. What about you?
First and foremost, I have a cool collaboration. I guess I can't say the boutique yet. I have a collaboration with a small boutique in Baltimore pretty soon. Made a hoodie. Got a varsity jacket, but there's only 2 of them. I fucking only want 2 of them. I moved back to Baltimore. I'm engaged.
Congratulations.
Doing stand-up heavy again.
Dope.
New single with Los, Catch the Fade, myself came out.
Numbers.
40,000 streams in a month. I don't understand how that happened.
Yeah.
Just word of mouth. It's on a bunch of playlists, which is really cool. Los was gracious enough to give us a feature. Man. Super cool dude. You look super surprised. Yeah.
Los who?
King Los.
You did a feature with Los?
Yeah, I did a feature with Los.
I gotta hear that shit.
Yeah, it's so I with my cousin do music, Catch the Fade. I've been doing it for I've been making beats forever, but we started doing music together. I hit Los up 2 years ago for a feature. Didn't hear anything, and then I hit him up again. I was like, "Yo, I hit you up 2 years ago about a feature." It was a beat from 2 years ago.
I'm too busy drinking green juice. I don't got time to answer no messages.
The beat that we had 2 years ago was different. Sounds change, and I mean it's still
Definitely.
Older school sounding, but I sent them this beat where I was just we just gonna bar up for 4 minutes straight. He was like, nah. And I gave him an introspective beat, and he was like, yes, I'll do it. And then he did a verse. He did a hook and a verse.
Nice.
So Catch the Fade is the name of the group. Myself is the name of the song. We got a lyric video that's on YouTube. It has 0 numbers, but the streams have been incredible.
Yeah. Okay.
It's been real dope.
Nice.
So we're breaking the whole tradition and talking to let's just get into it, man.
So I think this interview's been a long time coming. Glad to get him in the building. Definitely somebody that I like talking to, and just being from Baltimore and be able to talk about just being a creative here is something that I've been excited to do, and we've had some recent conversations that really sparked us really wanting to sit down. So if you want to tell the people who you are and what you do.
Shit. I'm Michael Haskins Jr. I'm a Baltimore native, and they know me as Currency Michaels.
Okay.
And I run Currency Studio.
Yeah, man. You and I go
way back.
We had a common enemy at one point.
Who was that?
I was gonna say everybody has a common
rest in peace.
denominator.
Yo, hold,
sure.
First and
Please.
foremost, let me say something real quick.
Yeah.
Garth, bruh, passed away. I was devastated, and to be completely honest with you, I had real beef with him over money, and I'm sure that a lot of other people did.
Yeah.
But I love what he did for us as a collective. He believed in a bunch of little black kids in Baltimore who had ideas. I mean, depending on who you ask. But
besides me,
perspective.
Everything.
Well, yeah. I mean, thinking about it now, I have real feelings about,
Right.
But we were provided a platform. You provided a huge platform.
Yeah, I took it.
And you took it.
Yeah.
and ran with it and continued. And, I started a clothing line a couple years ago, Status Apparatus, still going. You have Currency.
Yeah, I was going to say, so let's actually start
there. Yeah,
so
let's get into it.
You starting currency and also, working out of PEDX.
So that was interesting, man. I don't know if you guys know Kosi, Brandon McGee. He went to Morgan.
You getting... I used to work with him, bro.
At Metro Park?
No, I used to work with him at Apple.
Okay.
Moved back to New York a couple years ago. Real cool dude.
Yeah, he runs a podcast out there now.
Yes. Yo. Me and him are cool, bro.
So long story short.
This is very weird. I didn't know that you were scared. Yeah, please.
Long story short, PEDX was open for maybe like 2 weeks in Baltimore. And they put it on Hypebeast that it was opening up. Because at that point, it was called Pedestrian.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So I was like, yo, I got to go check this spot out. And at that time, Metro Park in Towson was open. So I would go to Metro Park, and I would also go to like PEDX for that couple of weeks. And I ran into Kosi at Metro Park. And he was like managing Metro Park.
Okay.
I was in there like copping Stussy teas or some shit. And Kosi was like, yo, I'm working at this new shop downtown in Fells Point. You should come through. And our relationship was just based off like we were both wearing cool shit. And I was just like, yo, like I was curious of who he was because it wasn't that many of us, And I went down there to check him out. And at that point, it was like, just a bunch of graffiti stuff and Nike stuff and Mighty Healthy. And I was interested. And I think Kosi was a little older and he had like bills to pay, so
obviously
he couldn't like sit around with Garth all day and like work the store for free.
Word.
So within a month of the store being open, I would just come through every day and like bring young kids through from the streets, and they were just spending a lot of money in there. And Garth took attention to that, like, yo, who is this young kid like bringing people in here spending all this money, like buying all the Frank 151 hats and just to like spark his attention. I would like spend $500 on shit myself just to be like, yo, I can bring you money in this store.
Word.
And
how old were you at this time? You gotta give context to this because there's a lot to it. Because I knew Kosi too. Like he and I are closer in age. There's a black dude from Brooklyn that had a slight British thing going on. Like he was an interesting dude.
Bro, dope.
Big dude could dress his ass off, was wearing fitted jeans before it was a thing.
Slick.
Like he's an incredible dude.
Yeah.
Super funny.
He is. I want to say 16 maybe. 16, 17.
Spending $500.
Yeah.
So
So were you like into like streetwear heavy, like you're 16, like in high school, is like that your starting point, or were you like into it before then?
So it was just like, Nike SB and
I was gonna say I think that's like that's my starting point too. So
I mean there was points in me where I was like buying fucking fake SBs from Batav's Local Market and selling them on eBay for the real price.
Word.
It's like,
we all did what we had to do with that.
I was like buying fake watches from Batavsic and selling them on eBay for the real price.
Word.
For a couple of weeks. So that got old quick though. But yeah, man. So I was like 16, 17, and obviously I would hang around in the store. The store wasn't even open for a month, and Garth had his habits where he would be like, yo, I'm going to Subway. Can you watch the shop for me for 5 minutes? And
that turned into
3 hours. Like, yo, and can you close the store for me? So one day before it was even a month, I came in the store, he left, did that, hey, I got to go to Subway shit again. And he was like, called me like, yo, there's a key in there. Can you lock up for me? And that next morning, I'm in school. I get out at 12:30 because I had half a days. And I get a phone call from him like, hey, bro, can you go open the shop? It's like 9 a.m. So I leave school. I go to Oakley High School. I get on the 5, catch the 5 down here to the harbor. It was like a 35 to the 5 maybe, to the harbor, walk to the store. And I get a text from him like, yo, I'm going to be gone for 3 months. Can you hold it down? Bro, I knew him for maybe 2 weeks.
Yeah.
You know, like 2 weeks. Can you hold it down? We don't talk about pay. We don't talk. I'm still in school.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, so I gotta open a store every day, and it turned into like me leaving school every day and like almost failing.
Word.
Because I was like, yo, I got this opportunity.
You a manager.
Yeah, I got this opportunity. You know, I'm taking it, and then it was to the point where as though I'm just sending them the money I'm making, you know, from the store. I'm not like taking any money. So I had to figure out how to continue to do that and also make a little bit of money. So I was already like printing T-shirts at school. So I was like, okay, without even like telling him, I'm going to take my currency stuff that I was doing at that time and sell them in the store at the same time that I'm running the store.
Word.
I mean, that's fair.
So,
it's very
like,
smart.
Like it's a fair exchange.
It wasn't like a brand that FedEx picked up. It was something like I inserted in there, you know, and that's how that relationship came about.
So, and for context of this, I'm a couple years older, coming to the store and see this kid running the store, and I wanted to sell my stuff there. And I was like, yeah. I came in and was like, who is the manager? He like, I'm the manager, B. I'm the manager, B. And I was like, all right, so what's the process of getting something in it? And you were like, you told me the times that Garth came in, but I still couldn't believe what was happening because you were professional in the space selling stuff. It didn't make any sense to me because, you know, you go to Towson, it's like 18-year-olds, 19-year-olds, 20-year-olds. You had a thing, you had a following, and it was all the stuff that I didn't really understand. So that's one thing I wanted to talk to you about, man. Like, so for quite some time, cool as a concept, you had that, right? How long did it take to translate the cool into something tangible that you could sell? Because at first, I didn't really understand the movement. It was just a bunch of cool dudes moving around, rapping and stuff. I was like, what? But at some point, this is something I was talking to him about. At some point, the cool turned into something tangible that you could sell to people. How long did it take for you to realize that I could make it into something? And what did what made you realize that you had to turn it into something that you could sell?
What made me really realize it is being around a bunch of guys. And it was like, they just wanted to be cool. Because I didn't know that I was cool. I didn't know, but I started to like, the guys around me just wanted to be so cool, so bad. And like, they were just like addicted to doing what we were doing. And I was like, wait, this must be profitable in a way. Or like, when I would see like my friends go out, or it would be a lot of stuff that I would sit back on, and then like that next week is like, oh, that same party you went to, the people you met are coming back and buying stuff.
Yeah. So
it's like, okay, I get that. I understand this. You know, you guys want to be like little local celebrities and want to be cool. Like, I can run with that.
Word.
You know, this is what y'all want. So it was like a trade. It was like I didn't really want that much attention because I was into that brand thing. Like, my thing was like, yo, I want to bring brands here from Cali, New York City, Philly, DC, other countries, so like cool kids can get their hands on that, because I know how I felt when I was traveling to DC and going to Commonwealth and Major, you know, and like feeling dope. And when I'm in New York City and going into the Bapes and the Stussies and getting, I love that, and I wanted to kind of like bring that here because that really inspired me. And the gente, and you know, and the cult here, like those are the places that I always felt at home. And I noticed that like there was also a gap to bridge, and I was trying to bridge that gap with FedEx.
So you starting your brand, how did that process work? And then like you starting to bring other things into that space, like what was your process to doing that?
At FedEx?
Yeah.
So first and foremost, you know, I was the buyer at FedEx too.
Right.
I found that out eventually.
So,
I found that out eventually.
Majority of the heavy hitters, like the Hundreds and fucking Acapulco Golds and Rocksmith and Black Scale, like
Pink
I
Dolphin
started
and
all
all
those
that.
conversations, and that was just me like, how much is a ticket to Vegas? What's magic? I'm out there.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't getting paid But it's like I wanted to go build those opportunities, but I found out quick I could go build those opportunities, but I'm not the one buying. So I wasn't able to really like continue those relationships.
Gotcha.
So that was a big part of that was just like me being inspired by traveling and buying those brands, which helped me like get ahead in how I branded myself because I was seeing what was already on a
what the market is at that point.
I was already seeing what people was buying. I was already seeing what t-shirts people were using and all that. I saw that field of like all this stuff isn't really that different. All these people getting their stuff made in the same places. Like there's no unique to it. And that's what like made me start to really keep my integrity and keep my shit running the way it's running, because even though all that like streetwear shit was cool, but I saw it as all like just like a cookie cutter thing. Like there's really like no unique value to it. There's no like personality to it outside of like what Hypebeast is telling you and what Hostility is telling you and shit like that.
We're the ones that are putting the style and the personality to the brand.
We give it context.
Bingo.
We give it context.
Because these are like, master's degrees. Like these guys didn't even really care about like you take your Bobbies and your Benz. It's like they didn't really care. They just was like, yo, this is a market.
Word.
I'm gonna take advantage of this market. They were just smart. So.
There's a theme you said a couple of times about travel. How much did travel affect your scope of what fashion was? How did it change once you started moving around? And where did you go to that changed it?
A lot. Well, what changed my life was, I want to say I was about 15, maybe. My father, we went on a trip to Bal Harbor in Florida. And it's just like a little vacation. It was like me, him, and his girlfriend at the time.
Yeah.
And I was maybe like 14, 15, and I remember going through Bal Harbor and like literally seeing kids my age in stores with their parents and like Rolexes.
Word.
Like walking in LV stores and at that time, like my father was like a LV shopper, Gucci shopper. He bought his shoes and stuff, but I never knew how much that stuff was. Like I didn't know this stuff was expensive, So like what I knew was that when I walk in this store, there's like white woman and Asian woman wearing fucking ties and bringing people water and champagne. Like I know that the cash wrap is marble and has gold trimming, and I know that this store smells better than a Foot Locker. I'm like, it was a lot of atmosphere.
It's very curated
environment things that like touched me. So, and I feel like traveling like opened my eyes to see like, yo, there are beautiful things out here, and that's why things cost what they cost. Or like I have a whole different perspective on like expensive. I look at it as, okay, you're paying for that experience, you're paying for the environment. Like I'm way past the whole material aspect of it.
Word. Yeah. So this was the combination of doing all these things. That's what led you to starting your brand. And like, what did you start with?
Well, before I was doing all those things, I already kind of had a brand.
Okay.
Because like growing up, my father had a urban apparel brand called Butterwear.
Word.
So,
whoa. What? Your pops did Butterwear?
Yeah.
You know how that feels to hear that from a Baltimore nigga? Like Butterwear was.
Yeah.
It was like Butterwear was it locally. Yo, I did not know that.
That started a lot. That started a lot of the conversations.
Boy. I didn't know that. I had no idea.
Got you.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, and
so you saw a lot of that coming up.
That's what I grew up.
Okay.
Like I grew up in that nature of. It's interesting because my father did clothes to make money.
Yeah.
To feed his family.
Yeah.
Like this is a business. It's a business to him. Like that's what that was. So I saw a lot of the business in it.
Okay.
I saw what it took to like make the clothes, build a team, be on the streets and the streets.
Yeah.
And
yes.
I think the difference between me and him is like always tried to figure out a way to like not have to be attached to the streets.
All right.
If I'm in Bal Harbour on the weekend and that following week I'm back in Baltimore City on Monument and Madison and Federal, like seeing y'all sell clothes out of trunks and shit in the hood.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out how to be in the Bal Harbour 7 days a week.
Yeah.
Word.
How can I tap into that atmosphere? And I started to look at it like, in order for me to tap into that atmosphere, I can't be one of my environment, brand wise, because you can get put in a box quick.
Exactly.
You know, like you will.